What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ilias, I'm a photographer located in Athens, Greece, and in this video, since we're heading towards the end of 2023, I thought to myself, why not take a look at the best photographs that I took this year and also share their story and the gear that I've used while taking them with you. So in this video I'm going to present you 19 images. These were the only images that I felt something unique when taking them and when looking at them later on, and I think this is a clear indicator of knowing when you got an image that is worthy of you. I've taken thousands of images this year, and I think these 19 were the only ones that I thought to myself that, yeah, I did that. So I'm going to present these images from the older one to the newer one. So without any further ado, this is the first image that I want to present you guys, and this image was taken with my Nikon F300, I think. I always forget the name of this film camera, and this was taken during January when I was still serving in the Greek military. Here in Greece it's mandatory for every male to serve in the Greek military, so yeah, it is what it is. When I was serving in the Greek military, I was sent to the beautiful town of Nafplio, and I got a few hours of free time that day, so my girlfriend visited me and we climbed up that big hill that Nafplio has to offer, and we enjoyed a beautiful view towards the whole town and the sea. And this is where I took this photograph over here with my film camera. This image has not been edited at all. This is how it came straight out of the camera. I love the composition, I love the feel, I love the colors, and this image holds a sentimental value for me because these days in the army were really hard for me and I couldn't do anything that I really wanted to do, and the only source of photography that I could do during these days was this one small film roll that I had in my point and shoot film camera. So yeah, this image holds a lot of memories for me, but at the same time I also enjoy the fact that my girlfriend is slightly out of focus, the fact that she's camera shy, and the composition, the colors, and the whole vibe that I get out of this image. Fast forward to the month of February, I'm still in the army, but I was in Athens, so during my days off I could do a little bit of photography, and this is where the company 𝐔𝐒 contacted me and we did a collab where basically they wanted me to create a landscape shot and they will later on present me that image on a metallic print, and here is where I took my best landscape shot to date. It's basically this photograph during the sunset. I love the colors of this photograph, I love the composition of this photograph, the fact that in the foreground we have two different elements. On the left we have the rock element blocking the water, and on the right side of the foreground we also have the element of the water, and both of these elements lead our eye towards the middle of the image, which is fairly empty, but we can enjoy the smooth water and the soft light of the sunset, and at the end of the photograph we can see the minimal clouds that we have on the sky, which help by balancing out the whole image because of the foreground. We have that really heavy and dramatic feel of the image, and on the other half of the image we get that beautiful, soft and minimal sky. I also can't help but notice the detail and the light that we get on top of the rocks and on top of the water that we have here on the foreground. I love that part of the image, and let me tell you over here that this image was taken with my Nikon ZF-C, which is filming me right now, and with the kit lens, the 16-50 kit lens. This just goes to show that even with the most basic lenses, you can create images that are stunning and beautiful to look at. And the metallic print that 𝐔𝐒 created with this photograph is just something else, man. Like, I'm really proud of this image. You can check the video on how I took this photograph over here somewhere on the screen or down below on the description. So let's go fast forward to the month of August, where I went a few trips outside of Athens, and for the first time in 2 years I went back to my village, which is a beautiful place to be, a really relaxing place to be, and I tried again a little bit of Milky Way photography. So these are the two vertical panoramas that I created in my village. Both of these share the same sky, which was taken with the Viltrox 23mm f1.4. It's a vertical panorama with 3 stacked images, so I think I used about 60 images for the sky, and also for the foreground I used my 16-50 kit lens at its widest focal length, which was the 16mm. Obviously these Milky Way photographs are not the best Milky Way photographs that someone can create, but for the past 2 years I didn't really do any Milky Way photography, and if you had ever tried to do Milky Way photography, you know how fun it is being out there with the stars and just capturing the Milky Way in its whole essence. Yeah, I'm just really happy about how these images turned out and about the memories that I made on that trip. So yeah, that's why these images are here, and that's why I feel like these are some of the best images that I have captured this year. And a few days after my trip to my village, I went for about 5 days vacation on Naxos. Naxos is a beautiful island here in Greece, and if you have ever visited the islands of Greece, you know how magnificent they are to photograph during summer. The funny part of my 5 days in Naxos is that 9 out of my favorite 19 images were created on that trip. So yeah, this was a really meaningful trip for me, and especially for my photography. And these are the 9 photographs that really stood out for me from Naxos. All of these images were taken with my Nikon ZFC and only with the 16 to 50mm kit lens. This is my go-to travel setup because my Nikon ZFC is such a small camera, and paired with that really small kit lens, I can create some amazing travel photography images. And the fact that I can go from 60mm to 50mm, which basically is something like a 24 to 70 in terms of full frame, while having a setup which is so light and at the same time so sharp, I think this wins the travel setup of the year, at least for me. In terms of the images, some of them were created during the famous sunset on the Naxos island, some of them were created during the blue hour after the sunsets, and some of them are not really that great, like this black and white image over here, or the snapshot that I got from this scenery over here. Like I said, they are not something really special, but the feel that I get out of the images and the colors that I managed to produce out of them and the overall composition, they just scream Greece, they just scream Greek islands. These images feel like the missing puzzle pieces of all the other images that I captured in Naxos, and that's why I included these images on this list of my favorite images of the year. 1 month later, I had the christening / baptism close to the town of Nafplio. Yes, Nafplio was the place where I was staying for a little bit of my time when I was in the army, and after doing the photography job with a few of my friends, we decided to also roam and experience once again the beautiful town of Nafplio. And over there I switched my camera gear with my friend Nicholas. I was shooting on his Sony a7 III and he was shooting on my Nikon ZFC, and these are the 2 images that made me fall in love with that particular trip. This first street photography image was taken outside of this restaurant over here. I think this is a pizzeria, I'm not so sure, but the nice warm colors and the heavy reds that I managed to capture out of the scenery, and the fact that we have this couple walking in front of the restaurant while wearing blue. In my eyes, this makes for a beautiful scenery, and I love the fact that the blue color of the clothes from the couple really match together with the sky, while in the middle of the image we get to experience that beautiful red color. In these kind of images, I always take down the clarity a little bit in order to soften up the image, and in this situation, I think by lowering the clarity and by introducing these warm colors, I created a really nostalgic feeling. So yeah, this is probably one of my best street photography shots of this year, and I'm really happy about it. There's not something particularly hard by capturing these photographs, but you have to have a trained eye in order to clearly see and capture the moment of these street photography shots. And the other photograph which made me go wow when I took it is this simple photograph of these 2 chairs over here. I was so excited when I took it and I saw it on the back of my camera. I was literally screaming and showing it off to my friends. Like, I was really excited. They didn't really understand me at the moment, but I knew that this was one of my best images. It was at this point where I started seeing a little bit more the abstract way of street photography, and as you can see here, I tried to do the technique of the harsh separation between highlights and shadows, but in a more abstract way. And the fact that we have this green chair and this purple chair and this whole mix of shadow and highlights, this just screams to me. I don't know why, but this is peak photography for me. Like, I was so happy when I was taking that shot. I don't know if you guys can see the same value that I see in this photograph, but yeah, this is one of my favorite photographs, and whenever I make a photography book, this is going to be for sure on my selections. Okay, we have only 3 images left to showcase, and 2 of these were taken during the same photo shoot. And if you have seen my review about the series, Sniper series, then you have also seen these images. I'm basically talking about these 2 car photographs over here. Basically, I did a car photo shoot with a friend of mine which owns this silver Audi S3, and I suggested to him to go up to a mountain in order to photograph his car between all the trees. And on our way up, really randomly, we managed to meet this other driver which had a black Audi S3. This is really crazy. We told him that we were on our way for a photo shoot and we asked him to join. So yeah, this is a really crazy story. This is really funny to me. And the fact that I had 2 Audi S3s in front of me to photograph, yeah, this just made it for such great photographs. I shot this image with my Nikon ZFC and the Siri 23mm f1.2 at f1.2. I focused on the black Audi in the front while leaving the silver Audi on the back out of focus. And the other image in this photo shoot that I really enjoyed taking is basically this rolling shot over here. This was my first time doing rolling shots, and this was a really crazy situation for me. I was basically hanging outside of a window and my camera was almost touching the ground. I managed to capture quite a lot of rolling shots in focus, and this is probably my favorite one. I'm really proud of this image, and I think this is the beginning of doing more and more car photography. I will also make a video about this car photo shoot in the near future, so if you want to see that, then maybe subscribe and leave a like in this video, because this really helps out with algorithm. And since I'm known for doing street photography, the last photograph of the year which made me go wow obviously had to do a street shot. And it's basically this photograph over here. I took this with my Nikon ZFC again, paired with a Siri 33mm f1.2. This is a reflection shot of a coffee door, but at the same time I managed to have 2 subjects in the reflections. The first reflection on the right is a dude which was chilling all by himself, enjoying the beautiful sun and his coffee. And on the right we have an older gentleman passing by on the street. We can see that he's holding his hands behind his back, and the one fact that I love a lot in this photograph is that both of their heads are hidden. So yeah, I think this is a dream street photography shot. I think that this street photography image really shows the work that I have put in on developing my art and my overall eye that I have for all these situations that are happening in front of me. And yeah, I think this is where I'm going to end the video. If you made it that far on the video, then you're a legend. Thank you so much by spending a little bit of your valuable time by watching my content. This really means the world to me. Let me know down below what your favorite images were, and if you want to showcase your own best photographs to someone, then you can always send me a DM on Instagram and show me your best images. I would really love to see your work and discuss it with you. And if you're new here, then maybe consider subscribing. It's literally free. You can always unsubscribe later if you don't like my face, my personality, or my photography art. But yeah, this is where I'm going to leave you. See you next time. Take care.